windy this morning, but it was much windier than I was expecting because it's all onshore winds, so it's really choppy. And the easiest way to spot humpbacks is when they're breaching. So the whole ocean looked like it was breaching humpbacks. So it was basically impossible to find anything out there. But I hadn't flown a drone in a while, so it was good practice to send that up. No matter how many times I fly a drone, it still fills me with great anxiety flying it over water. Well, flying it in general, to be honest, but especially flying it over water. So I'm gonna head back, have some brekkie, and then get everything charged and ready to go for looking for some dingoes. So I'm about to arrive where I'm filming today. Because I've got so much gear today, I'm going to not carry my GoPro with me the whole time. And I feel like the 5 people that watch these videos have seen me walk through the sand dunes enough. So I'm just gonna cut from here until I actually see something. So I've walked about 5Ks and I'm knackered. It took me like nearly 2 hours to walk 5Ks. So I'm just gonna sit down here. I saw some dingo poo before. I haven't really seen many footprints, but that's to be expected because it's so windy. I think I'm gonna stay here, have some lunch, and then decide. It's still only 2 o'clock, so still another 5 hours of sunlight. But given how long it took me to get here, I also need to walk all the way back. And doing that with a head torch is like a pretty good chance that I'd get lost. So I'd like to avoid that if I can. So I know I was laying on the beach and I know I saw a massive splash and I sent the drone up and I'm not certain, but I think I saw a blue whale. I'm not an expert in anything at all for that matter, but let alone whales, but that didn't look like a humpback to me. Maybe it was a blue whale, I don't know. I'm just trying to bring the drone in now because it's on a critical battery level, but yeah, that was pretty cool. So from what I've looked up, I still don't know if it's a blue whale or not, but humpbacks that I've filmed before have like a kind of chunky, they kind of look like buses underwater. Like they're really wide at the front and then they taper out towards the tail, but they're still just quite chunky head to toe. I've never seen a southern right whale. Well, now that I think about it, the only whale I've ever seen is a humpback, and whatever that was. And I've looked up charts, and there's some that I know that it wasn't, but there's a lot that it still could be. I really don't know. Just found a seabird that's washed up and it must be injured, but it's still alive, so I'm just going to move it to a safer spot. Not really sure what else I can do though. extra from this wind, so I'll go put him up here. I hope you don't turn into dingo food, my friend. You have a break, you can get back out there. Good luck, buddy. Hang in there. I'd say he's just exhausted from all this wind. He was pretty wet, so I reckon he's just gone into the water and then washed up, but his beak and his legs were fine, so hopefully he just needs to rest and then he'll be on his way. So we begin the very, very long walk home. I think the car's like maybe 6 k's away, but it's 6 k's of soft sand on the shoreline, so I think it'll probably take me maybe an hour and a half, but it was well worth it because the shots I got today are unreal. Couldn't be happier with them, honestly. The vast majority I'm not going to include in this because I want to save it for the film. That's how good they are. There's a petrel there getting hammered. I'm going to go get him. This one's in much better condition. He's definitely just tired, but he's got a lot of life in him. He likes to bite. So I'll just put him up in the dunes so he can dry off and relax. And then you should be able to continue wherever it is that you're going. All right, buddy, where are you gonna go? Let's go up here. Now, no biting. There you go. You're all right. Good luck, buddy. Well, so I have one hell of a story. So I rescued 2 of those seabirds, which I think are petrels, and there were 2 cars nearby and they saw what I was doing and they pulled over and asked if I needed a hand or anything, and I said, oh no, it's fine, and they offered me a lift. And considering how far away I was from my car, I said yes. And they were a group of 4 and they were just the nicest people. And as we were driving along the shoreline, there was just birds everywhere in various states of consciousness, and yeah, there were lots of birds in the tire marks of the road, or of the beach. So we stopped for every single one, we picked them up, and we put them in the back of the dunes. There were some that were still struggling in the shore break and were really struggling, so I don't know if you can tell, but I hopped in to grab one and got him out, put him in the sand dunes. Hopefully he has enough time to dry off and head back out there before the dingoes get to him. But I reckon all up we would have moved like between 15 and 20. So that's pretty fucking cool. Of those that survive, I don't know, I feel like most of them were still looking pretty good, but some of them I think might be dingo food, which is not the worst case at all. So just a recap of today, we've had potentially a blue whale sighting, which is a first for me, a pack of dingoes, including juveniles, and rescued a whole bunch of seabirds, and made new friends. I think that's a pretty good day. My feet are only really getting worse, and every step is a lot of pain in my toes and in the balls of my feet. So I've decided I'm going to drive on the beach today, which is completely legal for the record. So I'm going to do that and drive a bit further in and then walk a lot less. I'll still need to walk a few Ks, but it'll just take that initial grunt out of the journey. So hopefully that helps a bit. I'm probably going to do much the same as yesterday, and sit in a similar spot, and hopefully I'll have some similar sightings to yesterday. I really enjoyed flying the drone over the water where all the bait balls were. On my way in, I'll double check that there's no more seabirds washed up on the shore, because yeah, it would have looked like a battlefield yesterday. I've gotten in a lot later today. It's already 2:15, so there's about 5 hours left of daylight, and now that I have the car, I feel a lot more confident in getting home without having to walk through sand dunes with a head torch, because that is it's an experience. Alrighty, pressure's been lowered. We're off. So the people in front of me, I stopped for them to help them get out, and then there was about 6 cars behind, and everyone basically just got bogged. Okay, I need to concentrate. So we're up on the top dunes now, because the water has crept up so high that everyone would have just gotten stuck had we stayed there. So now we're in the actual dunes, but it's better than cars going underwater. Okay, now I can actually explain what happened. So I was driving along, and I reckon I made it like maybe 80 meters onto the beach, and I saw a car that was stuck facing like up the beach in like the worst possible spot as the tide's coming up, and it was just a couple, I think, a guy and a girl, and I said, do you guys want a hand? And they said yes. So straight away I started digging, and we got it like just incrementally further and further, and about 20 minutes later a group of like 5 guys and 1 girl also pulled up, and then they started helping, and I was blocking the path on the way back. So by the end of it, there was about 8 cars that were all in various states of bogged as the tide's coming up, so we needed to move them one by one from the shoreline up. And after about 2 hours of like incremental progress, we finally got all cars free, and now everyone is on their way home. It's been an interesting 2 hours. Obviously I'm not going to get back to where I was yesterday, so instead I'm just going to go look for Notch and send the drone up, because I'm exhausted. And it's, oh, my car, I disconnected the battery. My car's saying it's 1 o'clock, but it's actually 4:40. So there's still 2 hours of sunlight, which is plenty of opportunities to film, so really it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it was exhausting, and after not having virtually any sleep last night, I am definitely feeling it. So anyway, I'm going to head up to where Notch is, and then hopefully I find Notch. If not, maybe I'll send the drone up and find some whales or something. I don't know.